Hey everybody, it's Brian, and just finished watching, I guess this would be day 4 of camp. That sounds about right. And it was on the short field today, which is nice to get a little closer look. They're still wearing pads today, and you know, the headline news is there was a couple more scuffles. You had in the 1v1 pass rush drills, I think you had Rodney Coe, a defensive lineman, throw Will Precheck over a water cart, and Precheck didn't like that, and they started brawling. Both offensive and defensive lines went at it, and I mean, it was pretty active. There was people on the ground. There was just a big swarm. And then they got back and started getting ready to line up again, and it looked like, I think Frank Clark decked Jermaine Ifedi, and just, I mean, I think Ifedi was down. I thought someone was injured because I didn't see initially who was the person, but someone was down on the ground and didn't seem to be moving that much. I think that was Ifedi. I don't know if Clark knocked him cold, but definitely delivered a blow, and so Clark was kicked out of practice for fighting. Ifedi left the field. Doctors were tending to him, but you know, I think he was just dazed. Maybe he has a concussion, maybe not. And he might have been kicked out for fighting too. I don't think we'll know until Pete says, but you know, Ifedi's been kicked out of practice twice for fighting, so it wouldn't be that much of a shock if he provoked somehow. But Clark's been in the middle of a couple of these fights lately, so you know, he's gonna clearly get some talking to. But the interesting thing that happened then is Ethan Posick took over at first string at right tackle with Ifedi out. He played both first string and second string for the rest of practice at right tackle. And the interesting thing was that I had literally written maybe 5 minutes earlier. I was watching Posick, you know, in some early team drills, and I was like, I haven't seen him make any, you know, get beat yet on pass play. He really needs to face some tougher competitions, and I'm wondering when he's going to get some reps with the first string. Well, sure enough, he got his chance. I saw no major issues, no real issues with him going up against Cliff Averill. He seemed to be fine. I didn't think Averill looked like he was going as hard as he has in the past, but there's, you know, I saw Posick handle stunts. You know, he has a pretty calm way about him. He's not very sudden. He's not super strong, but he's there. He seems to make correct blocks. You know, I didn't see him getting fooled. I didn't see him getting off balance. He just seems steady. I will say that I did see him get beat. This is Ethan Posick, a fair amount in run blocking. He would whiff on guys. There's one time where I'm not sure if he did the wrong play. He might have thought it was a pass play because he took a couple steps back when it was a run play, and usually guys are heading forward in those situations. But that's an example. I mean, the guy's a rookie, and so even though people might want him to win that job because, you know, Ifedi's been so problematic, you put a rookie in that lineup, he's going to have his own growing pains, because that's what happens. But I think it was good. I think it was a good, solid practice for Posick, and I think he's challenging for more snaps. Now, I say that knowing that, again, the team values run blocking over pass blocking, and when they were doing the run drills, I thought that Ifedi looked better and was more of an earth mover for sure than Posick. I think Posick probably needs to gain 10 or 15 pounds at least, you know, by next year to really start filling out and be an NFL offensive lineman. I think he's a little bit light and not necessarily all that strong, at least based on what I'm seeing. But again, he's very solid in pass protection. Other things that we saw today, what's his name? Tyrone Swoops, I think that's his name. So I don't have my roster in front of me, but this is the quarterback out of University of Texas who came in as a tight end, undrafted free agent. I named him as one of a total major sleeper to make any noise. He's been quiet the first couple days, but had a really nice touchdown catch today, had another catch after that. You know, might be starting to get his feet under him a little bit. So good day for him. Other things that I noticed today, David Bass is an interesting guy. He's a pass rusher, defensive end. I believe he's number 47. He made some hay, and I think is maybe, I wouldn't be surprised if Pete mentions his name at some point. Continued to see Glowinski and Ibushi trade off. I think Glowinski was with the ones today, and he looked fine. George Fant, he still seems like he's vulnerable on the outside with quick pass rushers. So I know we were all talking about him gaining muscle, and he is much bigger. But as I'd said previously on the first podcast I did with Jeff, I didn't think his problem last year was strength. I think it was experience and also speed rushers. And so more strength doesn't necessarily help you get better at blocking people around the edge. So he still seems like a little slow-footed, not quite great getting his hands on people, but it hasn't been a disaster. But you know, I don't think he's shown me that he is significantly ahead of where he was from a pass blocking perspective last year. And so, you know, if you take a second and think, well, I still say the odds are that you're going to have Ifedi and Fant as your tackles. Neither one of them have looked particularly strong in pass blocking. I will say that before Ifedi went out today, he was doing better. He's not doing great, but he was doing better. I saw him pick up a stunt. That's the type of play he was struggling with last year in terms of handing off a defensive lineman to somebody else and picking up their pass rusher. So he did that well today. J.D. McKissick is another guy that, again, had a strong day. I think he's playing quite well. Cyril Grayson had an amazing catch today, right along the sidelines, and I didn't initially know who it was, but it looked exactly like Doug Baldwin, and I also almost started writing his name, and then I saw it was Grayson. Really nice catch, toe tip along the sidelines. I think it was on a 3rd down. Big play, so that was nice to see. Nick Vanette had a couple catches today. Austin Davis seemed to be running with the 2s today. So I think he might have taken over Boykin, but it might have just been a rotation. You need to see more days to know for sure. Eddie Lacy was out there in pads, so was CJ Procise, and got some carries. Chris Carson, nice day today. First day that I would say he really jumped out to me. He had one running play in team drills along the left-hand side on a sweep. He looked fast, fluid, strong. I think he went for 20 yards before he got touched. And that doesn't happen that often in these drills. The Seahawks defense is pretty good, so that was noticeable. I think he had a touchdown later. He's played well. Actually, no, he did not have a touchdown. They took him out, but he played well. Some fun stuff they did today, at least from my perspective, is they do 1v1 pass block drills with running backs and fullbacks versus linebackers. It's a great way to get a feel for which linebackers have pass rush and blitz potential, and which running backs and fullbacks can potentially be your 3rd down pass blocking option. I will say Eddie Lacy did not look great in pass blocking. I would say that Marcel Reese looked really good, which is a good sign. CJ Procise also was not great. Guys that were strong, Alex Collins was strong. Chris Carson was strong. That's a good thing for him. I think that Kyle Coleman was strong. Reese was definitely better, but Coleman was strong. Let's see, Rawls was good. He took Michael Wilhoit. I mean, he's a man. He's a bully, and I'm actually happy that they have him on there just for that purpose alone. And big guy, he bull rushed a couple of them. I mean, he's a bigger physical guy, and he just tried to run him over. Rawls took him on head on, and I mean, Wilhoit pushed him back, but Rawls held his ground. You know, I wouldn't want to see Rawls taking too many more of those hits, but that was good. Wilhoit looked good rushing. He slipped by a couple guys, making him look pretty silly, and kind of swim moves around him. Bobby Wagner, you know, we know he's a good blitzer. He showed that last year, and he showed that again. He made a couple guys look really foolish doing that. Trying to think if there's anything else that you know, Jimmy Graham was quiet today. Russell had an okay day. It wasn't a great day for Russell. Paul Richardson had another strong day. I mean, he's been strong. Cassius Marsh really had his first true practice. Had a nice play. I think he beat Posick on a run play. Dropped someone for a loss. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. That's the things that jump out to me. I'll look at my notes. I've got some family stuff going on this weekend and starting tomorrow, so I don't know how much I'll be able to post notes, but at least you have this. And I will talk to you all soon. Take care.